Hey guys, I hope your hobby and time is doing pretty well. Had a couple things come up that reminded me that I still haven't made my second August video yet, and it is now November, and so I should probably get on to that. So here we go. I've got a little bit of a progress video of all the things that I've gotten painted. First things is I did get all of the new Repentia Sisters all finished up, and I'm happy how they turned out. Let's see if I can actually just zoom down so I don't have to keep picking them up. There we go. And you know, they were fun models. I really do like the new Repentia Sisters better than the old ones. I know that's not a terribly popular opinion amongst the hardcore Sisters players, but they're just so much easier to build and to paint. You know, I do need to get a new box of them one day and paint them up. But honestly, I have so many things that I already have that I just don't need to buy any new things just at the moment. I need to work on my backlog. But I got all four of these ladies painted up, and again, you know, that was fun. I liked them. I used some transfers that I got. Used some of them off of the place that has the Sisters of Battle transfers that came with the box. Let's see if I can find. See if it'll focus. There we go. There we go. Kind of right there is one. I think that's from the initial the new release box. And the one on her chest is actually an old Sisters of Battle transfer, which was almost exactly the right size, and is not quite, and so you can still see a little bit of overlap that I've worked on with the Microsol to get that off. But some of the others, you know, a lot of these I did the handwritten bit. And here, let's see again. There's more right here on the bottom. Okay, keep it in focus there, Daddy. Right here, this is one of the newer transfers that came with the box set. I did buy a whole bunch of transfers from a third-party guy who did a lot of text transfers, which turned out really fancy and nice. And they'll go on bigger models a little bit better, because again, you can see the text here is just kind of little, and then add on that's the hand-drawn, poorly hand-drawn eye there of the Inquisition. But these ladies turned out pretty well. And so they are in the box ready to be deployed the next time I ever get a chance to play. I did finish this was the special captain they released, and I painted this guy up as an Imperial Fist. I have finally decided that my new army for 9th edition will be Space Marine Army. I haven't built one since the Grey Knights from the 6th edition. And the Imperial Fists have won a spot in my heart from reading the Siege of Terra books. You know, they're just a lot of fun, and the Dorn and the Fists are such tragic heroes in the big battle versus Chaos there. And the thing, the Power Sword turned out pretty good. I like it. I probably could have gotten. He's still a little glossy, which I need to hit him again with the dull coat. I hit him several times with it. I beg your pardon. And I'll explain that in just a minute, but I hit him several times with gloss coat, and then did a pin wash with the Tamiya panel line accent color, and I really like how that did his armor. You know, just it pulls out all the little shadows. And so for the other two Reavers that I built up and have painted up now, they're just waiting for this same pin wash to be done to them, and then get dry dull coated to tone it down. There's little bits of fiddly stuff that I can pick out on these, like I can pick out a lot more on the wristbands and such like that on them, and I'll probably will. And the purity seals, once I get the dull coat on, I'll do the purity seals for both of these guys. But these push to fit kits were fun. I've still got the other 3 from that set, and my Indominus set has just come in, so that'll give me a good starting point for an Imperial Fist army. Largely Primaris, and I do have the Primaris upgrade sprues waiting for me at the local hobby store, so I can get those done as well. I've got one more model that I did for progress. I'm actually going to have to shift the camera and move it around so I can get it onto the thing. So hold on just a minute. So I'll just keep this running. Now I won't. Alrighty, let's see. Alrighty, here comes the model. This is an old kit that I bought years ago, and even now it's still too big to get into the camera. I haven't zoomed all the way out. But this is the Avenger Strike Fighter. It's a Forge World model, but I'm really not certain that this one that I bought is not a recast. Forge World is famous for its flaws, but I bought this pretty early on. I mean, the kit had only been out for maybe a year, and there were a lot of mold line slips. I mean, you can even still see some here on the tail wings that I thought I had gotten off and then had not sanded enough. And by the time I got to where I saw them, I was like, yeah, whatever, you can stay on there. Plus, I mean, I honestly don't think I'll ever field this, but I painted it up. Worked with some weathering powders for the first time, and I really like how it makes the engine look super grimy. I mean, in reality, any jet engines that's spewing this much grime is on the verge of exploding. But it is the Imperium, so that's what do you expect? But the main reason I'm pretty sure this is a recast is if you look at the canopy, the resin is so cloudy. And I've got some Forge World resin, clear resin for, the emulators that I built for my old Sisters of Battle models. And that's 20-year-old resin in some of them. And it still turned out pretty well. And, it's still fairly clear. And it was clear until I hit it with a dull coat. And this stuff was all masked off when I primed it and when I gloss coated and when I dull coated. But again, this model turned out pretty well. The only real problem I had putting stuff on was you can see the decal here tore a little bit, and I could not get it seated just right. But again, that's going to be sitting on the flying stand, and so it'll, who's going to see it? But overall, I really liked this model. I need to put something on the base, but again, I'm not going to fly it. And so, is that crooked? It looks kind of crooked. Oh, well. Yeah. Maybe that'll explain why he misses all his shots. But yeah, overall, that was fun. It helped me practice with my airbrush. Again, you can see very light here, kind of weathering pigments and then chipping just along the edges. Because it was a fun plane to build. It really, fun. It was a lot of JB Weld and epoxy resin and green stuff all along here, and even then the gaps were not totally fillable, and it looks like somebody who was bad at welding was putting the wings on. But it really helped me figure out things I need to learn, the things I need to get better at for doing large model kits. But there we have it. There's that guy, and you can see what's coming up here on the table here as I shake the entire camera. But I'm working on Cities of Sigmar, Age of Sigmar model set. I've got a lot of these guys already built up. You can see them here, and some of them I've already painted up. I've got settled on my color scheme, which is always the hardest. And then once I figure out how I'm going to paint them, they usually start to progress pretty quickly. Bases, I think I could have added a little bit more finer grit. I used a larger ballast from like a train HO train scale or HO or whatever scale the trains are. Used a little bit larger than normal, but they're going to be gray water fastness allegianced, and so they're going to be kind of on marshy-ish bases, and so I'm going to keep it kind of greenish brown with a little bit of dry brushing and maybe some like gloss varnish. Once everything is finished, I'm going to put gloss on the base to make it look wet. But we'll have to see as I build up. But I still got the Arcoflagellants there, or Arcoflagellants, and the Jetpack Sisters from the battle box. I kind of wanted to get that done this year, but with the sidetracks and sidestepping, I did end up doing a lot of other things. The big thing that I did that was different and off kilter for modeling was that I cataloged all of my backlog. Well, almost all of it. In the end, I left a couple things off intentionally because I was planning either on getting rid of them, or I just didn't want to be faced with exactly how much I had. Because I got up to the number of entries. I may put a screenshot of it up here. But 297 different entries in my backlog of kits that were not built or assembled or painted all the way or finished. The vast majority, I'd say like 95 to 98% of them are still in the boxes. And some of them still shrink wrapped. And so I've been moving things towards eBay for some of them, and others I've been moving them. So, if I'm going to paint this, I need to paint it. And if I'm not going to paint it, I need to get rid of it. And like I've got one of the entries, just one of the entries was the Kingdom Death monster kit, which is the whole board game for Kingdom Death, and it's like 40 miniatures, and it was just it was one entry, and so that kind of gives you a hint. It's probably closer to about 500 to 600 individual models if you count miniatures as well. Though there were a good number of single unit kits like the Forge World kit there that that were not bundles of miniatures, but just one single model with multiple pieces. But yeah, that's what I've been working on, getting that, and then kind of prioritizing all the pieces for that to try to figure out what I'm going to do first, what I'm going to get working on, what needs to be done, and what I just need to let go of. And that's going to be hard for me because I am a hoarder. Luckily, I married a woman who is not a hoarder, and so she comes in and prods me to get rid of stuff that I don't need. And it's made it actually easier. The more I do it, the easier it gets. But you can see in my color scheme, you can totally see the influences of not only the Imperial Fists, but the Sisters of Battle with the green. But yeah, so my first batch is already up on eBay. Actually, it's a big chunk of Eldar. It's a Wave Serpent and a Wraith Guard still in the box, and then a Wraith Guard primed and assembled, and then a Farseer, which is the fine cast Farseer, which the whole thing's up for the cost of the 2 unopened box sets, and the other stuff I'm just kind of throwing in. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it was good to see a lot of the people putting stuff out there. I saw Jam Jar had put his video. Did I finish that video? I can't remember. I need to go back and watch your video, Jam Jar. That's something I can do the next 10 minutes. Justin has put some stuff up, and the War Boss has reappeared, which that's really nice. I missed the live broadcast from last night, but I'll get on there. It's good to see you, War Boss. But those seeing several people post up some stuff that I haven't watched in a long time, that really boosted my oh yeah, I need to get off my ass and get some stuff done. But sorry, Mama, you heard that. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are managing the pandemic fine. Hope you guys are surviving. And I guess that'll be it for today. I'll see you guys next video. Hopefully it won't be 4 months since the last one, like this one nearly was. At least a quarterly update. Maybe I can do once a month at the very least. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend. Adios.